Good day. It's a pleasure being around once again to our web dinner. And I want to believe that as time goes on, you are gaining one or two things that has to do with exportation. Once again, my name is Godwin Abiodun Efeso, member, U.S. African Trade Council in Atlanta, Georgia, and also a member of Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, CEO, Success Edge International. You are welcome. Today, we'll be laying emphasis on shipping. Definitely shipping is part of things that you need to undertake when you are into the export business, like in freighting goods out of the country where you are exporting. It's either you use by air, which is by cargo, or shipping. But you notice that in the area of shipping, there are some certain documentation that are needful, and that and it's only when your documents are actually entered, payment can be effected. So today we'll be talking about document mistakes to avoid when preparing to receive payment. There are some certain documents mistakes you should not make if you want to make sure you collect your money intact. Now, in the course of every international trade, export transaction, the exporters prepare certain number of documents, that have been previously agreed to be issued by them to the importers. Now, these documents are usually important for importers to use in actually clearing the goods, because if those documents are not clearing may be difficult for the person you are sending the commodities to. So they are usually important, in clearing the goods at the port of delivery, and depending on what their port requirements may be, some default or may not be allowed to include in those documents. So aside from the import documentation to be put into document, the paying bank too may require some information be included in the document, and some also being excluded. Now, to avoid entering situation where shipping documents do not contain the right requirements to ensure you get paid, or the importer can clear their goods at the delivery port, the following are actually the things you need to actually double check. You need to make sure you double check some of those things to avoid issues. Number one, ensure that the consigning names and address exactly as agreed and uniform. Ensure that the consigning name and the address is exactly as agreed and uniform. Now, let me explain that a bit. Now, when a letter of credit is issued, the bank usually wants its name and address to be the name and the address of the consigning section of the bill of lading. Now, while the importer's name and address remain at the notified party section of the bill of lading. Now, why this is mostly a standard in LC, that is letter of credit, most exporters make mistakes of thinking that the bank name and address has to be on all the shipping documents. Please, this is very important, and as a result end up producing documents that cannot be used by importers to clear their goods. It's not compulsory that the bank's name must be in all the documents. That's a mistake that some exporter actually made. So please make sure that is actually notified. So they end up producing documents that cannot be used by importers to clear the goods at the point of delivery. Now, it is important that the right name and address are in the right section and are written exactly as they should be without any mistakes. Make sure there's no mistake. Make sure it's not compulsory that the names of the bank is in all the documents. If the importer is not issuing a letter of credit, then their name should be in the consigning section of the bill of lading and not the bank's name. I repeat, if the importer is not issuing a letter of credit, then their name should be in the consigning section of the bill of lading and not the bank name. That's the first thing you need to avoid. The second one is ensure that the exact quantity of the goods are correct and uniform. Ensure that the exact quantity of the goods are correct are also uniform. The quantity of the goods needed to be stated in the shipping document exactly as they were, weighed at the point. You see, there's what you call inside dealing. Inside dealing is a situation whereby you declare some certain items in the container in the paper, but that's not what you have in the container. Please make sure this is not done, because once you do that, it is a mistake that will actually cost you your money. Now, if the weight on the bill of lading is different from the weight on the commercial invoice or the packing list or the certificate of analysis or fumigation certificate or any other document, it creates confusion and can cause the custom at the point to penalize the importer. And the importer will not really like that. To be very candid, they won't like that. Okay, and also the paying bank would be unable to pay for the goods, and we flag them as a very bad person. They are not sincere. So please make sure it's also very important. Number 3, ensure the product name is accurate. Ensure that the product name is what? Accurate. The name of the product that is being shipped must be exactly as agreed in the contract and mentioned in the letter of credit issued by the buyer's bank. If the product name on the document is not exactly as required, you discover that the bank will not release the payment unless their client sign off on it. So please make sure that what you write in the document, and it's also the same thing as what you have in the commercial invoice. Also, using the wrong name for a different product in a shipping container can cause a world of trouble for both the importer and the exporter. So it is important that the name is always as accurate as possible. Please make sure that the name you use does not conflict, in the document. Number 4, ensure that all inspection document dates are before the shipping date on the bill of lading. Ensure all inspection document dates are before the shipping document on the bill of lading. Now, let me explain this. It's also important that the inspection document dates of all the documents issued in respect of the shipping must before the date of the shipping, because if the opposite is the case, it will imply that the document was forged after the cargo sale and that the inspection never happens. Now, the date of issuing the document may be after the date of shipping, but the date of inspection must be prior to the shipping date to prove that you fulfill all the regulatory requirements before the cargo was shipped in a container and shipped from the point of origin. Number 5, ensure the documents are submitted at the agreed date, at the agreed time. Ensure the documents are submitted at the agreed time. What does that mean? In letter of credit, there's usually a timeline for the submission of the shipping document. The latest date of shipping is actually 21 days before the expire of the letter of credit, but it is negotiable and can even be reduced to as low as the expired date of the letter of credit. It's important that you always prepare and submit all the documents as at the time when due, so that you can be in line with the LC, that is the letter of credit document submission timeline requirement, and also help the importer secure all the documents before their goods arrive at the point of delivery to avoid them paying any demurrage fee. Now, if the document submitted is not submitted at the agreed time, it may incur demurrage. That's an extra cost. Number 6, which is the last one, ensure that the document requirements are exactly as agreed. There are various documents that will be required depending on the product that is being shipped and the country it is being shipped to. So it is important that you must always prepare all the required documents and ensure that the required informations are put in exactly as required to avoid having complication with the shipping and receiving payment. Now, payment is very important, and I think the essence of actually doing export is to actually receive your payment. But I must let you understand that it's also very important that all the things that's actually highlighted are actually in place. And I want to believe that as you do this, you'll be making good, you'll be making export things actually easy. If you're able to correct all these mistakes, you won't have any issues doing that. I want to believe that we've been able to solve some problems today. Till we meet next time. But remember, like we said, we have a lot of videos on various products that can be exported. You will see a notification button on your screen as you are watching this particular video. Just press it, okay? Then to actually subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll be able to receive much of all our videos. Then again, like we also encourage, you need to share this. Once you watch this, share to 20, 30, 40 people, okay, so that they can actually watch the same thing, that errors can be corrected and that more money can be made, with the information we've provided. It's a pleasure being around with you once again. I remain yours, Evangelist Godwin Abiodun Professor. Till we meet next time, talking about real exports and providing solutions to problems. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.